In today's video, I'm trying out a 2025 season DLC for the F1 Manager game. We all know by now and have concluded that we're not going to be getting an F1 Manager 25 this year with all the end-of-life sort of updates they've been doing to the game recently, with that insane update where you can change pretty much everything with the driver lineups, transfers, rules, regulations, the calendar. Frontier were preparing F1 Manager 24 to essentially live on past its year, its game cycle, because unfortunately for a number of different factors, Frontier have cut short their licensing deal to make a managerial game for Formula 1. But this is where this 2025 season DLC mod comes in. It's been made by a team of 7 modders banding together, absolute heroes, legends of the game, all linked down below in the description. And if by the end of the video you want to check out this mod and also the database editor that you need to use it, both links will be down below in the description, because you're about to see this is an incredibly thorough mod, to the point where you can kind of almost forget the word mod when you just say it's a 25 DLC, because it almost may as well be a actual legit DLC for the game. With this 2025 season DLC, you'll find a complete update for all the team lineups, obviously in a year where we've had so many different driver transfers, you know, Hamilton to Ferrari, of course, we've had Lawson at Red Bull, I guess not for much longer now, it'll be Tsunoda very soon. You got all the rookies coming in, Antonelli at Mercedes, Bortoletto at Kick Sauber, Hulkenberg coming over, Behrman, Ocon in the Haas, Sainz to Williams with Alexander Albon, and of course to go along with that, all 10 teams featuring their new 2025 liveries, and there's even been some reworking to the driver ratings to make them accurate to 2025. This 2025 DLC also has a full overhaul database, including real-world regulation changes, an updated calendar featuring all the races, and an expanded driver pool encompassing F2, F3, and all the affiliated drivers. So as you can see, this mod is incredibly thorough, which is why I say it really is just legit like an actual DLC, no mod attached to the name basically, and it is the closest thing that you are going to get to getting a new 2025 F1 Manager experience. And in the next part of this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install this DLC mod and get it all up and running and working with the online database editor. And then after that, in the second part of the video, we'll be actually taking a look at the mod at work in the game. Right, so here we are, super quick installation guide of this DLC mod. I don't usually do guides for how you actually get mods installed, but I feel like this is such a good one that I think as many of you guys need to check out if you have F1 Manager on PC, especially now that we're not getting a manager game going forwards. I think this will breathe life into this game now for this next year. So on the left-hand side, we've got a folder open from the F1 Manager files, and on the right-hand side is the mod folder that you can download. The way you get to the folder on the left-hand side, it's a pack folder where essentially a lot of the information of the game is held. If you go to F1 Manager in your Steam library, go to Manage and then Browse Local Files. That's going to open up this box. You then click F1 Manager, Content, and Packs, and that's how I've got to that folder originally here on the left. And on the right, this is what you open when you download the mod. You know, you unzip it, you open it up, and then you've got the manual here, which, to be fair, will take you through this very process, but you know, sometimes it's easier just to see it done. And it's so simple. You open this up, you've got the pack files folder, and then here we go, 2025 season DLC modular. All you have to do is Control-C, copy it, Control-V, paste it in to the pack folder. That's it. Exit out. Boot up the game now, create a save file. So that means go through and choose the team you want to play as, basically. You then want to go and find the save file, which you can do by going to a user, app data, local, F1 Manager, saved games, and the last one there is going to be the one that you just saved. You're then going to go ahead and drag that save into this online database editor. This is an online version of the database editor that I've had linked for ages in all my F1 Manager 24 videos. This is how I've been showing you guys the R&D chart, for example. And so there's now a really handy online version of the database editor. And very nicely, there is a whole special tab labeled F1 Manager 24 2025 Season DLC. Now, this part really honestly blew me away in the presentation style. It makes it honestly feel like you're installing a legit DLC You click it, it's gonna boot up this beautiful little screen. And here you can see we've got all the different options that are gonna make this mod work as intended. So the first thing we've got here is time travel to the end of 2024. So this is going to take your save that you just made, that would have obviously started at the start of the 2024 season, and it will time travel the save to the end. So in game, it will legit be going into the 2025 year in the calendar. So we're going to go ahead and just click apply. That's going to be done. So now we're all of a sudden at the very end of December going into the new season. We're going to add extra drivers. So we've got extra staff, new F2 and F3 drivers, new F1 Academy drivers that are going to be linked into the affiliate drivers, I suppose. So we're going to apply all of those added in. Just one simple click. Next up, driver lineup. So there's only 3 showing here, but of course this means every single driver transfer that has happened in 2025. So the big ones, Hamilton to Ferrari, Sainz to Williams, Antonelli to Mercedes, but all the rookies coming in, etc, etc. One other click, applied, done. We then come over to the right hand side. We've got driver staff and stats. So as it stands in the base game, Bortoletto 69, Antonelli only 71, Piastri 84, which is pretty criminal. So this is going to update not only their driver stats, but also a load of other driver stats to try and make it as accurate as possible to 2025. We apply those, and for example here now, Bortoletto 78, Antonelli 77, Piastri 86. Obviously you can sound off in the comments below and debate those stats and the other ones you're about to see later on in this video. Next up, we go to calendar. So as it stands, the season opener would be Bahrain. We've got the sprints in these races here. We click apply, and now the season opener is in Australia, and we've got a change sprint to Belgium. Regulations. There is currently a point awarded for the fastest lap. We know now in 2025 that is no more. We hit apply and it doesn't count anymore. CFD adjusted. Of course, the CFD going into the season you're in is based off last year's championship order. So we hit apply, and you can see now McLaren have the least amount of CFD. Red Bull now have more than Ferrari, with Ferrari finishing in second place, of course, and so on as we go down 2024's championship order. And finally, we've got the performances. So at the moment, you can see they've highlighted what Red Bull, McLaren, and Williams are. We apply that, and you can see there's been a massive jump for Williams, and also a pretty significant one for McLaren, with Red Bull now lower than McLaren, and you would assume, I guess, Ferrari as well. Although, to be fair, basing off the start of the season, that's up for debate. But as always with performances, even with the literal base game, you know, when we talk about the F1 Manager game or even the Codemasters games, it's never going to be one-to-one with real life, because the sport is ever changing every single week. Every other week teams bring upgrades, whereas the game just simply can't keep up with that. In the same way, the mod can't keep up with that, but it is basically as accurate as you're going to get. And so that is it. Our brand new 2025 season DLC is configured. All we do now is hit this save button and then transplant the save file back into the folder we had before, and we can play. And very nicely now, as we boot up F1 Manager, we are met with the 2025 F1 intro, which already gets you in the mood before we even get into playing the game. And there we have it, a little sneak look at Lewis Hamilton in red inside of F1 Manager. You can see the 2025 Ferrari livery in the background there of the main menu, and our new career save is ready, because for this one-off video trying out the mod for the first time, I thought we'd go in the big one. Obviously the one that a lot of people are buzzed for this year is Ferrari with Leclerc and Hamilton. Of course, you may have seen in a community post that I asked you guys to vote on which team I should go for. That vote is still active, but it seems like there's a clear #1 contender when I start a brand new career series. But for just this one-off video, let's go in red and let's just look at the mod. Let's look at all the cars and such and all the little details. And so here we have it, Leclerc and Hamilton ready in Ferrari for 2025 in just a couple of days time. Let's look at the standings here just so that you can get a good picture. of all the different drivers, because all the photos as well have been updated. And the mod's gone to such effort for even these little details of these driver photos that you know, you won't even see that often unless you're checking the standings that regularly. You know, obviously they'll be in the main menu in this little bit, and then you won't see them basically. But the detail and the effort of making them look as good as possible, to the point where, honestly, I think these driver photos now look better than the base game in a weird way, because of the editing, the lighting that's been done to make everything as photorealistic as possible for the driver suits on the driver faces. Ah, man, it's just so good. It's so good. It's so good. It honestly just feels like we've now today just got a new F1 Manager 2025 game, and it's going to feel like it now as we enter the actual 2025 part of the in-game calendar. You can see here we've got the Australian Grand Prix as the first race coming up, the full 2025 calendar with the accurate sprint races, with really the only change being Belgium, of course, but still having the different order, which I know is now something you can technically do in the base game. Like, even you know, guys on console, you can do this if you wanted to with the new updates they made in the base game. But these guys were making this mod before Frontier brought that update. So this, if that update hadn't come, this would have been even more like groundbreaking for people just to be able to download and do, which you could have obviously done with the database tools, but to have it as one easy click is just so easy to use. I'm just going to skip through all this stuff and get to the first race just so we can actually see the cars out on track, see those, you know, new sponsor boards, the team crew, and etc. But there you go. First signs also of the F1 Academy drivers as affiliate drivers, I assume that is. If we go to drivers and go to affiliates, there we go. We've got like Joe Guan Yu, Giovinazzi, and then we've got some of the F1 Academy drivers and the F3 and F2 ones as well. And here more than ever, actually, in this screen, you can tell the quality of like the photos and stuff in the menu. Like that one looks extra crisp and sharp. Of course, we've also got updates for the engineers and the staff as well.
It's wonderful to be back down under for the Australian Grand Prix. As we start a brand new season, the slate is wiped clean and the teams prepare to make an instant impact heading into an exciting year. Will beginner's luck play a part this weekend? There's a new driver at the wheel for Haas. Now let's crack on with the weekend.
You got a little inkling into the super detailed helmet mods also with this mod, with Behrman's one there, but every single driver has had an overhauled helmet as well. Beautifully made by Little Onion. And you can see in the background here, all updated team gear. So it's not just the car, it's every driver, every overalls, every single team kit is done as well. And as we load into a practice session, you'll very quickly hopefully notice on the left-hand side, we've got an updated heads-up display. We've got a lifelike F1 TV graphic now in the game. It's literally like they've transplanted it from F1 TV into the game. So sick. And you'll also see everything, you know, all the pit boards all change, you know, with the Ferrari look. You've got McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes, Aston Martin, Alpine, Haas, Atalassian, Williams, V-Carb, Kick Sauber, every single one taken through. The pit gantries as well on the right-hand side. Over here, just if you keep your eye out, you'll notice every little change that they've gone through. You would have seen on the intro, actually, not only did you see Behrman's helmet, but you've got the Louis Vuitton sponsoring, probably a better looking version than the ones in real life, to be honest. Tag Heuer as well. And actually, if we just send out Lewis out on track, we'll see the Tag Heuer sponsor board at the end of the pit lane. But there we are, the 2025 Ferrari rolls out in all its glory, and there it is. There is the new Tag Heuer board in game as well. How insane is that? Every single detail you could think of has been thought of in this mod. It's wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. Got F1 75 sponsor boards all over the gaff. We're going to have the Tag Heuer ones coming up in a moment as we come through here. There you go. Tag Heuer everywhere. With the timing ladder added on and everything together, It's like we've got a 2025 game. Honestly, it's crazy. It is crazy. I'm going to wait for a couple of more cars to get on circuit so we can maybe look through all of them. I think we can pretty much run through every single team then. So Hamilton here, the onboard. We go to Verstappen in the Red Bull. Lando in the McLaren. Russell, Mercedes. Very close to him is Ollie Behrman in the Haas. Doohan's out there in the Alpine at the moment. Tsunoda in the V-Carb. Hulkenberg, Kick-Sauber, Carlos Sainz in the Williams. And I think that's all 10 teams. Oh, no. Aston very awkwardly haven't just... Oh, there we go. Alonso's come out then. There we go. That's all 10 teams. All 10 teams. An overview. Let me flick through all of them just so you can see and hear them. It's so good, man. It's so good. It's like literally looking at a new 2025 game. This is unbelievable. This is so, so good. I now cannot wait to dig in to our career series because it's honestly... I mean, you can probably tell by my face. I'm buzzing. This is going to feel like we're playing a whole new game when we start this series. And, well, it's a choice. Guys, go to the community post. As I said, the vote is still open. The vote is between Williams here with Albon and Sainz, Haas with Behrman or Ocon. And I did give the choice of Ferrari, but I kind of just gave that because I knew it would be maybe popular. But Williams and Haas obviously being the, you know, harder two teams to work with, more of a road to glory series. But, you know, open reign to vote out of those three teams. But either way, no matter what team we do, it is like we have booted up F1 Manager 25. It really will feel like that. I actually can't get over just the quality of every single livery and the helmets as well. You can tell how well the helmets have been done. Even from like these, like if I pause it and you get a better look of the onboard there, like Behrman's one is so nice. Lando's as well, and the McLaren, and then each onboard is so, so good. And there's timing ladder then. It's sick. It's so good. Yeah, no, absolutely slaps. Absolutely slaps. Guys, I'm going to leave it here because I honestly don't want to spoil the experience of booting up our actual save and playing it for the first time. So this is just meant to be a little tester, a little tryout to see the mod in the flesh for the first time. And I will now leave you waiting for the first episode of our 2025 career mode on this game with this brand new DLC mod. The vote is still open, like I said, but if you have enjoyed this one, then be sure to hit the like button. Like I said, check out the links down below in the description for the mod, for the database editor, links to all the modders involved that created this insane mod. As I said at the top of the video, absolute heroes, legends of this game, because this is going to set us up then for this next year in 2025 without an actual new F1 Manager game. But we've got the next best thing. Honestly, literally the closest thing you could get to a brand new game. Incredible. Till the next one, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.